Yeah, even here, John will tread carefully. He doesn't want to leave the red near pink or black, anything like that. Doesn't want to give Shaun any encouragement to see that. Even the cross double, so to speak, just to get the red away from the black so that Shaun can bring the black into play. Even here, I think you'll see John, if he can play the pot, he's going to be mindful of the pink. Golden rule, don't move it, just leave it where it is. See that? Miss the pot thick, you can't move the pink. Yeah, top of the table. Keeping the red in open play, you just never know. Not an absolute cinch hit. Again, there won't be lots of pace in this. No problem. Looking for something similar again. And behind Brown with the cue ball. It's a half chance. Looks a natural. Yeah, too thick. They have a good backstory, or a nice backstory, these two, like a lot of the top players do. I wouldn't say close off the table, but I remember Dave mentioned the first meeting in 04, and it was around that time Shaun went up to John's home and stayed for a couple of days, went to the club, and no doubt got taught a lesson how to play the game. And it was nice for Shaun because he got to see John at home, and you know, a nice house, nice car, all that sort of stuff, and Shaun wanted that for himself.
Yeah, and also from Higgins' perspective, what a gesture, really. You know, it's not in his interest to try and bring through the young players, but it's a way of himself keeping sharp, taking on players coming through.
Yeah, all the top players are good that way. I mean, so many stories you hear about. If any young player comes on the tour, and I mean any, if they were to ask John or Shaun or these top players, any chance I could come over and have a game one day, please? That would be, yeah, no problem. You know, you would think, that they'll not play. Yeah, no problem at all. All good that way.
Murphy was furious with the way the last shot turned out, but he was fortunate to cover the red at least with the yellow. 39 behind, so 1 4-point snooker, but that's of course a red and a black. The pink's nailed to the cushion, so green's safe as well. It's not looking too rosy for him one way or another, although this could be a snooker. Yeah, tap on the table from Higgins. Murphy's given a lot of advice, hasn't he, to Stan Moody, who's still in this tournament, beat Michael Holt yesterday. I can tell you that Rory Thor has finally won that decider against Mark Joyce. So he's playing Neil Robertson tonight, so we've got Thor against the Thunder from Down Under. It could be a stormy evening.
Yeah, tapped by Johnny. He always appreciates a class shot, which that was. Now, this is a difficult hit. Don't know what odds you would lay in this. Probably 60-40 against, something like that. And again,
Five. Shaun Murphy 4.
Yeah, so working his socks off to get the 4-point penalty. Now he's got it. I'm going to try and get the red-black with it.
Well, it's 11 minutes, actually, of toil to get the points.
No double kiss on. Just send the red onto the baulk cushion. Something of a result there, John, because it's difficult for Shaun to bring the pink into play. And here's a chance to wrap the frame up once and for all.
Yeah, he's had to try and keep his discipline. He did give away the 4 points, but makes a big difference if the red goes in, of course. Be 36 in front without a colour, 27 on.
1.
And a look at the blue. Completely slammed the door in Murphy's face. So, different cue for Murphy, but same result as in the previous 2 frames.
6.
Highest break, just 24 for Shaun Murphy this afternoon. Pot success at 50%. Numbers you certainly don't normally associate with him.
8. John Higgins, 8. And
The
the
nod
frame.
of the head from Shaun.
Yeah, and just to report, Shaun has gone back to the cue that he started the match with. Did change in between frames there.
Foul. No miss. Shaun Murphy, 6. Check. Shaun?
Slight adjustment made. Always seem likely to get the bunch on the second attempt. It'd be the most John Higgins thing ever, wouldn't it, for him to win this tournament, just get back in the top 16, and it's like last week never happened. He's made so many sort of unlikely recoveries. But he needs results, and obviously this would be a massive one against one of the players of the season, if he can get it done.
Decision made. He's taken the aggressive option. It was the only way he could pretty much miss it. It was one of those where he probably was aiming for jaw, because he's expecting if it goes a little wide, it'll flick the other red and disappear. Now then, Shaun. You can get something going.
1.
Yeah, 25 minutes, although, of course, most of that he wasn't trying to pot anything. He was playing for snookers. But anyway, this is where he wants to be now, around this black spot. I think he's a player. It doesn't take him long for his body language to transform if he's suddenly feeling good again. And we know
8.
he's got a great sort of stomp around the arena when he's feeling like his game is there. He spent a lot of the afternoon looking concerned in his seat, looking bemused at times.
9.
Just a word on
16.
Ricky Walden. He's going 3-0 up over the line in that third frame against Jamie Clark.
17.
Of course, some of the first round matches were played in Leicester a few weeks ago, so we've seen some players sort of new today, even though other players have played a couple of times. It's can be quite hard to follow what's going on, but Ricky Walden looking good to reach the last 32.
$24. $25.
Yeah, still early days and any potential comeback, but 3 or 4 good shots in this contribution into the reds then. Fourth black. Oh, lovely.
$32.
Well, he's been struggling all afternoon. Imagine if he did actually make a 147. It would just come out of nowhere, wouldn't it? But he's good enough. We're asking a lot there. He wants to win the frame, first and foremost, and just get going again.
33.
He made a unique one, didn't he, last season at the shootout, of course, against the clock, in that rather rowdy atmosphere as it was in Swansea, against young Bulchu Reves. It's an event where audience participation is encouraged, and as he was on the blue, 3 pots away, someone shouted out, "Don't
40.
bottle it now, Shaun." Just what you want to hear.
$41.
Maximums are becoming obviously
$58.
more frequent as the years go by, and it's almost got to the stage where you can
49.
identify very early in a break, because top players almost to a player will any sort of half chance. We saw Judd the other day, didn't we, with a attempt at his 1000th century, trying to do a maximum when he gave up a straightforward red to middle going up for blue. They tend to have a go whenever the opportunity presents itself, and I've no doubt Shaun will here.
He's made 8 in his career, and there have
56.
been 8 in the history of the British Open.
Yeah, it's just gone a bit wrong. He's just got to control this cue ball here. Yeah, gone wrong.
57.
It's just the wrong side of. Well, it was the right side of the straight, but just a bit thin, and tried to be cute with his cue ball. 63 at this level doesn't get the job done, as we know. Not with John in the other chair.
Black ball. Shaun Murphy,
Fabulous shot.
57.
Well played. On the disappointment of the failed maximum attempt, that was excellent. Yeah, the cue ball there just ran enough to make this extremely difficult. If it had stopped and he was cueing out of the middle of the the corner pocket there, you'd really fancy it, but this is awkward. Great shot.
One.
Yeah, terrific. This is more like it from Shaun Murphy, and there's still time in this match. First things first, put this frame away. And this red should do that.
7. 8. $15. 16.
'Yeah, just on the cue business, I'll say two things. The first thing is that Shaun knows better than I do what
23.
his needs are in terms of a cue. But the other thing I would say is, because he's just a fabulous snooker player, if I was his best buddy and whatever, practice partner, coach, whatever, they just play with a cue. You don't need to switch around, not in my opinion. Because you're an unbelievably talented player
31.
with just a good enough cue that hits the ball properly.
32.
And he's back with the one that he did start the match with, and this has been excellent, hasn't it?
$39. 40.
Sometimes I guess we can look for things, or maybe a problem that's not there. When you look at his ball striking, he doesn't normally have too many problems.
Shaun
But he's
Murphy,
back in this
40,
match.
And the frame.
Yeah, that's more like it. Still in trouble, but a much better. Ben Mertens, a young Belgian player, promising rising star, 2-0 up on Hamed Mir. I mentioned earlier that Mir beat Judd Trump here last year. That was just before Trump's incredible run of 3 tournaments in a row. Ricky Walden 3-0 over Jamie Clark, and David Grace and Lewis Uller underway on table 3 in the opening frame there. David Grace beat Jack Lazowski, didn't he, in the qualifying? So Jack, obviously a local man, not here, as Murphy knocks that one in. And the signs are improving all the time here for Shaun Murphy. Of course, it was Lazowski that beat him here last year, made that great clearance, didn't he, in the decider.
Free. Four.
John Higgins is sitting in this chair eyeballing Shaun, and the reason I say that is
11.
I've spoken to John about Shaun's game quite a few times down the years, and he, like
12.
pretty much everyone else, is acutely aware of the capabilities that Shaun has. If he slips into gear can be a frightening player to play against. So John will be ultra wary
19.
of what might be on the way.
20.
Yeah, Murphy has great pride in performance. You know, before the match, he always speaks well. He always looks immaculate. And of course, he always wants to play to a high level, not just for himself, but for the audience
27.
watching. Certainly at 3-0. I mean, he wasn't enjoying it, but he wasn't just going to give up meekly.
28.
That's that power thing that is different, completely different from the way that John plays. I mean, what an asset to have. And all of a sudden, he looks interested as far as maybe, I know it's a long way away, winning this match. John looks mildly concerned. For good reason. Shaun can take any player apart at any time.
35.
And John will know that. He won't be sitting in any way thinking, oh, Shaun's having an off day. I've got a good run at him here. No, no, no.
36.
Yeah, I interviewed Ronnie O'Sullivan in Riyadh, the Saudi tournament, and I asked him, do you ever feel in a match that you've got to play? And he said, absolutely not. He said, the game is too fickle for that. Cannot afford to think that. And I'm sure Higgins didn't at 3-0.
Please.
Certainly won't be feeling it now as Murphy starts to just look more comfortable.
Yes, actors and talk about stage presence, don't they? Shaun's certainly got that in a snooker sense. Gets up ahead of steam. He simply bulldoze his way through matches.
Well, it was that time at the Crucible, Corin Wilson, he lost him, didn't he, in the semis, and said that he thought Shaun was a bit theatrical. Well, they were playing at the Crucible Theatre. He was literally on the stage. But yeah, that presence is definitely an asset.
42. $43. $50. $51. $58.
He's kind of going along at a simmer at the moment, Shaun, isn't he? There's nothing rushed about it. But
59.
as he continues, and hopefully from his point of view, continues into the next frame, if there is one, gets that bit quicker all the time, and that's where the intimidation factor can start setting in.
64.
Red colour red to take us to frame 6.
65.
My mistake. Just the blue, but the frame's all but done.
$70.
In a different context, we saw on Sunday night in the
71.
English Open final the way that great players can be frozen out. Neil Robertson was by Wu Yizet, who nearly turned it round from 7-1, 8-2 down. This is a shorter match, but Higgins was dominant to 3-0. But for 2 frames now, he's not potted a ball. You can't, sat there. However good you are.
78. $79.
Applauses for Ricky Walden. Great win for him. 4-0 over Jamie Clark on table 2. Looking to make the cannon to
84.
go on and make the century. Made 18 this season. Just behind Judd Trump. So,
Shaun Murphy, 84.
it's got interesting, hasn't it? 2 really good frames from Shaun Murphy. He's not potted a ball in the last 2 frames. Shaun Murphy's made breaks of 57, a 40 and an 84.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a super shot with lots of check siding behind that wide target. Well, blue and yellow. You don't get all that many taps on the table from John, but when you do, you know you've played a good shot. Tends not to tap the table for... Well, he doesn't come to the table when someone knocks in a long red, but you know what I mean. You know, it's when someone plays a good escape or a tactical shot.
Touching ball.
He sees everything. Top of the table from John. You've earned it. Now this should be straightforward. Just drop on yellow-blue with the cue ball. Yeah, no problem. Might not be a bad thing if John can see one of the reds, but bit of an impasse here because John's not going to take any risks. Doesn't have to. Ooh, is this a chance? He has to pot the red. What can he do with it? not much.
One.
Well, he's known as the magician, but that cue ball had stopped. It wasn't going to be moving again.
Brown. Brown ball. Shaun Murphy 1.
Yeah, good hit, but John has this red near a strike corner. His right arm will feel a wee bit cold at the moment, so this is a tough one.
Yeah, it's suddenly 25 minutes since Higgins has actually potted a ball. Murphy, of course, was frozen out a couple of times earlier.
One.
Yeah, almost playing for a high black off the spot with this shot. That's his line. Perfect. Well played.
4. Five.
It's one of these matches now. It feels like it would be a better win for Higgins if he could get the job done here. The fact that Murphy has come to life, because people then couldn't say, well, Murphy just had a shocker. He was struggling earlier on. He hasn't struggled the last two frames.
$11. $12.
Okay. Key shot now. Right at the bottom of the cluster. Choose to play this probably punchy around 2 cushions.
$19.
Back for green. Spreading reds. Oh, what a piece of ball striking that was, but
20.
managed to get any sort of reverse side, as we call it in the trade. So, decent split. But he ain't out of the woods just yet. Needs a good shot with the rest.
Well, 8 out of 8. Don't attempt fate, but it's not missed with this bit of equipment yet. Thing is, though, every shot is different, and the context of every shot is different. And that was a big one, really. This stage, Murphy coming back at him.
23.
That's as good a shot as he's played in the match, actually. And I know he's mildly hampered, but precious little to do with the cue ball. So if this red goes in, it's a bona fide chance to win frame and match.
24.
This is where he's faltered in the last 2 or 3 years. I hate saying it, but it's a fact, isn't it? On the verge of victory. What mistake creeping into his game? How does he handle this one?
Yeah, oddly enough, I think a lot of the sort of
31.
balls he's missed at key moments have been the easier ones, haven't they? You know, that's the thing. He seems to pop the crunch ones, and then maybe the concentration dips or something happens. That's what he's got to really guard against.
$32.
Oh, that was a gorgeous shot, you know. Because he didn't actually want to play blue there. He wanted yellow. Because then it doesn't interfere with his cue ball. I think, yeah, yellow's going to be his shot. And it's straightforward to get nice on the 2 reds nearest to pink. Under normal circumstances down the years, this job would be a good one. You've still got to do it. Couldn't wish for a better chance.
$35.
This is what the practice
42.
is for. To get yourself in the position to put away a fellow top player. See the plant there? That's a certainty as well. If he wants it.
43. $50. $51.
Well, this has been a very impressive break.
58.
Not least because of the way Murphy started to pile the pressure on. 2 balls away from victory, John Higgins.
$59.
And it'll surely be satisfying for him that he's killed it off at the first time of asking in this frame. I suspect it won't be a record he'll care about. Maybe no one else will either, but he's now won more matches than anyone
66.
in the history of the British Open. It just underlines his longevity,
67.
his achievements, his contribution. to this sport. Anyone out there who wants to write off John Higgins, you've not been paying attention these last 30 years. Because inevitably when the chips are down, he comes good. He's out of the top 16. He can get back in within a matter of days with a deep run here in Cheltenham. And he's going to be through to the last 32.
$82.
Yeah, and it's the manner of the way that he's ultimately put this match to bed that will please him. No end,
Higgins,
no century,
82.
but no matter.
Friend and a match.
A really good finish, 82. There's been so many meetings between these two.